One day I had a broke heart. That's why I had to go out.
Purple smoke,
yeah.
purple smoke, purple smoke, purple smoke, purple smoke, purple smoke.
What's up, guys? This is the Eric Barber here, and I am here with New York artist turned Detroit artist Lokye. We're on the heels of the drugstore tour. How we doing today, man?
Very good, very good. Just, getting smacked.
Nice. I like to hear that, bro. And so we're ahead of drugstore, right? And it's one of your upcoming tours and albums. What's really the inspiration behind drugstore, and what can we expect to hear?
The inspiration for this tour and album really came from going on the Purple Smoke tour last year at about this time. So in March, we went to South by, and my homie Problem had cooked up a bunch of beats, and he sent them to me. I'd asked like a bunch of people just to send me beats, and he had sent me enough beats for a project. So I just started cooking up and working with the people I was with on tour and shit. And then we kept it moving. As the year went past, we were like, oh, maybe we should add some more songs. And it's just really developed into a nice project that I'm super proud about. It's like 17 songs, and the deluxe version is 24. Yeah, so it's a full project.
Hell yeah, bro. And to me, you've always been known in a lot of different corners of the space, right? But you kind of have a bit of your own, I'd say, like avant-garde, unique sound. How did you really end up cultivating your sound?
I started in boom bap, so I was doing boom bap stuff. That got boring to me, just because I was in New York, and I don't know, it got boring. And then around Titty Boy, so 2 Chainz comes out, and I was like, oh my God, this is it. Yeah. Southern rap, I was just like, this is it right here. And I just started like doing more trap rapping. Yep. And trapping, just everything, living the whole lifestyle and doing everything. And then as I developed and I was underneath like Mike Phelps and Coleman Young and Passalaqua, I'm doing paintings all the time, and Sheefy McFly. I'm like painting with them and hanging out with them all the time and doing shows. And so I just kind of had to get good. Before it was like, whatever, but now I'm like in front of a bunch of people. So I'm like, okay, now I got to get good at this. And then I started really just getting in the lab. I started Weirdoz Gang. I had a bunch of hot spitters around. So we were just rapping all the time, getting real good. And now years have passed, and I'm just like, it's time to take over. So I just been dropping projects left and right and fucking just rapping my ass off.
That's tight, bro. And you are the founder of Weirdoz Gang, right? So for those uninitiated, could you explain what it is and who's involved?
Yep. It's an artist collective that probably started in like 2015. Me and my homie from New York, God, really started it. And then my other homie, Martez, we were all kind of originally pretty much doing it, and then it kind of just evolved in Nadeem, World Soto, just a bunch. There's a bunch of people. God, Mr. Melly, freaking people, all Leon, bunch of everywhere. There's people. So honestly, it's just like a whole movement that kind of goes all over the country, and it's just about making art and being yourself. It's pretty much it.
That's hype. So it could be. Just because I know you also paint and stuff too, right?
Yeah.
It could be any kind of artist into Weirdoz Gang, or is it okay?
Yeah,
that's dope. And so just to touch on where you're at, being a multidisciplinary artist with painting and stuff too. I really like your style, but how did you develop that?
When I was developing my music, I was developing my art. So in 2009, I moved to Detroit, and I went to college for creative studies. Yep. And I studied under Gilda Snowden. And that was kind of how I started really developing like my abstract painting style. But while I was doing that, I was doing the Titty Boy trap and rapping. But I'm also singing on these songs. So then it's like getting weird, So it's like I'm touching like this weird space, which was also why Weirdoz Gang became like a thing. Because it's like, oh, we're a little weirder. The scene in Detroit is weird. It just made sense to kind of like be like weirdos. And so my art kind of just developed with my music, just being on the scene, doing like the artist side of it, seeing Playground Detroit, Red Bull. But I've been painting since I was 6. I had my first art show when I was like 14 and made a bunch of money, and when I was 18, I made like 10 bands or something, you know, like, so.
Man, let's go.
So I just been making art forever, and that's always going to be a thing. Right now I just focus more on hip hop and music for the moment. Yeah.
But if I'm not mistaken, I mean, you kind of have a synergy with your music and the more visual art, right? Because like you make your own flyers and stuff too, right? And your own merch, all that stuff.
Yeah, yep. I make everything. The merch, the flyers, yeah, a bunch of different stuff. Like even when we do releases, sometimes they're at art galleries, so there's art up. Even in New York on the 14th, March 14th, we're having a show, me, Jess Fendo, and a couple other dope people from New York at the Living Gallery. So I try to always keep art in the practice, of course, but just like I rap every day. Yeah. I legit make a song like every day or do a feature. So
that's tight.
I don't paint every day. I do try to draw every day, but I don't paint every day.
No, that makes sense, bro. And this is something I want to touch on because you kind of touched on the financial aspect of it for a sec. You know, are you able to fully support yourself through your artistic endeavors?
For the most part, yeah. I mean, not living like high echelon, you know, but definitely able to do what I want to do and do it, you know. I think the goal is always to make more money and to be able to support your team. So like now I've been trying to implement different systems so that I can do that and then make sure we reach certain quotas. So I think it's just like making sure you run everything like a business and then you can generate money that you want, you know. If you don't shoot for it, you won't get it. Before I wasn't trying to make like 10,000 a month, you know. Before I was trying to make like 2,000 just to get by. Now I'm trying to be able to like, you know, I have a family, so I have to support everybody.
Something good.
Yeah.
I'm with that, bro. And speaking of that, I mean, you're kind of doing it already with like your tour, right? I mean, 99% of artists, like they won't even get their own tour, right? And so for you, I mean, if I were to like tour tomorrow, bro, I would like hit up Trixie's Bar in Detroit and then Old Miami in Detroit. I don't have anywhere to go, you know what I'm saying? But you're doing like a national tour, aren't you?
Yeah, it's pretty much everywhere. Yeah. Yeah, we're going all over. It's 20 dates. I think the exciting ones for me are El Paso and Albuquerque and San Diego and Oakland. Those are the ones I haven't really played in. I did play in El Paso, but it was quick. Well, I'm supposed to do a song real quick.
Okay, word. We could pause it. We could pause it. I'll even cover your song, bro. All right. Outside, we love it flex. You really stand on business, man, and say it with your chest, nigga. Stand on your business, nigga. All right, Lokye, who have been some of your favorite people to that you've worked with?
I work with my nephew all the time, the Super Robot King. That's my guy. He mixes and masters everything. He makes most of my beats. We've been working for like the whole time, so shout out to him. But Bizarre was awesome to work with. Oh, yeah. Yeah, dope. He pulled up. He had recorded the verse actually, I think at Foul Mouths, but then he pulled up to the gallery. We shot the video, did a little Hamtramck stuff. That was dope. My homie, Mr. Motherfucking Esquire, he was dope to finally get a song in with. We've been friends for a good little while, but it was a long time coming. I really was happy we got to finish that up and get a good song out. That video is going to come out pretty soon. Nice. Yeah, those would probably be my top three right now.
Word. And on a similar note, but specifically speaking about one project in particular, is there any project that you're most proud of, you'd say?
I think that... what's that one? Color Coded 3 people like because it has Boldy James on it.
Oh, yeah.
So that draws you there, and his verse is real tight, and that song is real tight. Valid's also on the second song, nice. And Dusty Fingers did a lot of the beats. So that's a good place to start, I guess.
How do you get tapped in with Boldy?
I met him a long time ago. I just hit him up. And I was like, let's, do something. Yeah.
Okay, word. Because he's just hot right now, and so is Valid.
It was wild, actually, when he pulled up, because I had no idea he was about to drop with Alchemist, and then he dropped with Alchemist. Whatever tape that was a few years ago. Not the Bojack one. Was it the... With twin hockey sticks?
Yeah, it might have been that.
Yeah, whatever that album is called, he dropped like a month after he did the verse. So I was like, yo, I didn't know you were about to do that, but that's great.
Yeah.
Also, Miz Korona is on Art Books. So Art Books, I really was proud about Art Books. So Art Books and Color Coded 3, I guess, are good. Yeah, good places to start. Art Books has Bizarre on it, has Miz Korona, has Sam Be Yourself,
Nice.
Dango. Yeah, and then production from my nephew.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's some heavy hitters, bro. No doubt. Who are you listening to right now?
Rob 49. Heavy. Rob 49 a lot. Griselda's tight. More of the older Griselda stuff though.
Okay.
Nadim. I always listen to all the tapes I've been working on that are unreleased. I've been listening to them a lot. So like Woozy's, Nadim's,
Okay.
my homie Queez God. They're all getting ready to drop. I've been listening to them a lot. And then like random stuff like I don't know, like random like Mac DeMarco, like old songs like Chambers of Reflections and shit, like or like
Kind of give me those vibes.
Frau Let Go, I was listening to what's that fucking Grateful Dead a lot for a second just because I was wanted to make the shirts. I would like had the similarity, so I was like, I need to get familiar. I can't just like their shirts.
Yeah.
So I started listening to some of their music, but yeah, just weird shit. Blink-182, the one with the titties, the doctor lady. I like that album. I listen to that still a lot.
Yep.
But yeah, Rob 49 right now. He's the one. He's like the new cat that I'm listening to for sure, all the time. Yeah, he be turned up. And I found out I was from New Orleans, or I'm Creole.
Oh, really?
So I did my heritage thing, and I was like, oh, that makes so much sense.
So, let's talk real quick. I mean, I know you're originally from New York, right? Do you feel like you can make any kind of comparison into how the Detroit and New York scenes are kind of different?
Well, I think in New York, there's similarities in the way that there's like this top tier and then the underground, right?
Yep.
But I think it's a little grimier here, and there's more of a punk underground scene that it goes with the rapping, at least that I've seen. And then there's the underground street boys, but that's like the same thing as like a Fabulous before he blew up, right? So there's like them, and then there's like the people like Bub Styles and stuff, and so like I'd say that's what they do. It's more like real grimy hip hop, like not flashy, and then there's like flashy shit, and then like here it's like innovative, rappy, maybe even woke-ish stuff, and like just comboed together with punk rock, and then like there's like the dope boy shit. Yeah, that's like the combo. So those are the differences, I guess. But
word. And what do you think fans can expect to hear from you, even beyond like Drugstore? Are you working on features, more projects?
A lot of features. There's definitely. I've already dropped some features. I just dropped a feature with this homie Rot and a 4-bit hustler, 64-bit hustler. Then Doughboy, I'm gonna be on his new stuff. Just like all the tapes I said for that are gonna be dropping from my homies Queez God, Mr. Melly, Dino, Nadim. I'm on all their projects. Nice. So that's definitely. But I think the main thing is that if you listen to those other projects like Art Books and Color Coded, they're more hip hop or experimental hip hop. Yep. These ones go back to trap a little bit.
Okay.
I'm rapping on a little bit more trap beats. I am touching on some of like the Detroit sound stuff. I was just having more fun because going on tour, I didn't really just want to make just hip hoppy shit anymore. Like I was like, that's kind of boring. Like I want to sing a little bit. I want to rap a little bit. I want to do the whole thing and have fun while I'm doing it. Because sometimes just doing a whole rappy rap set, especially if they're slowy songs, it's not the most fun for me, even, you know. So
I feel like, sorry, did I cut you off? Oh yeah, I feel like every time I've seen you live and stuff, man, just over the last year, it's been more so that eclectic vibe. Mm-hmm. And I'll be real with you, man, just to even get in to talk to you over the last year and interact with you, that's your vibe. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's you.
Yeah, and that's why it was interesting to retouch trap beats, because I always liked them. But I think before it was just talking about bullshit, you know? And now I'm like, now I have a bunch of stuff to talk about. Like, I can just talk about my regular life. Even one of the songs, I'm like, slaving a soldier in my DNA. You know, it's like, that's I'm Irish and Nigerian, like, and that's where, you know, what it is for sure. So it's just like, I think that you just start to, if you really listen to like the lyrics, I'm talking about everyday life. I'm talking about like the struggles that we're going through as young people in America, trying to like, you know, own corporations or start our own corporations, and that's not really getting let into the door, not getting funding, having all these things to get like, you have to build up mad capital to even get like a good loan, you know. It's just a little crazy. I mean, I get it, but it's supposed to be the land of opportunity. So, and when they were younger, when all these other people were younger, they did get loans and they did get stuff, and they didn't have that much under their belt. My grandpa started like a bunch of businesses, and he didn't have a bunch under his belt. He just started doing it.
That's facts. I mean, the credit score was created in like the 1980s or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's like some bullshit there. Yeah. Yeah, definitely, bro. You know, just because everyone kind of has something to weigh in on this topic, but what do you feel about like the hip hop scape as a whole?
I think it's kind of great. I think everybody says it's trash, but I mean, I think the only trash part is that there's no filter. So you could literally just get a bunch of bullshit, but some of the bullshit is just pretty talented. Like the fact that these kids are doing them on the phone, like in Band Lab and doing all this crazy stuff, it's pretty cool. I mean, I'm not mad at it. I love Little B, you know, like I took mushrooms and fucking Little B changed my life. So I can't sit here and say any of these people are whack. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Young Flaw.
Sweet. We're about to wrap up here actually right now. So, Lokye, if you got any kind of final message that you want to give to anyone who's watching the show?
Be yourself. Do what you want to do. Don't get caught for anything that you shouldn't be doing. Boom.
Awesome. Well, that's Lokye, guys. All of his links will be down in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Check him out. It was my pleasure, bro.